Happening now, motion withdrawn. Why local lawmakers pulled back on denouncing New York's COVID-19 gathering rules. Plus, the push to distribute smoke alarms in the community.
A live look at the Doppler radar. That snow moved out that we had last night. Now, how much snow did we get? I'll let you know coming up. The news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. A motion was withdrawn from the Chautauqua County legislative meeting agenda last night that would have supported Sheriff Jim Quattrone's position on Governor Cuomo's executive order on non-essential gatherings. Republican legislator Terry Niebel introduced the motion, but later withdrew it from the agenda. Quattrone says he believes an executive order limiting non-essential private residential gatherings is unenforceable. Now, as part of the motion, Niebel says the legislator would have respectfully asked the governor to reconsider his 10-person limit for non-essential private gatherings. Now, WNY News Now spoke with County Legislator Elizabeth Rankin this morning, who says she agreed with the motion while also urging residents to be safe and responsible.
I think that I would have supported it with the caveat that that doesn't take away any personal responsibility. The people still need to be safe and careful with themselves and their families. I think it's not a bad idea to limit our interactions over the holidays. But if somebody has, I know, for example, one family with their kids and their spouses and grandkids, it comes to more than 10 people. And I think there are times when it might be appropriate. Let people take responsibilities for themselves and make good choices.
She says additionally it would be hard for law enforcement to go door to door to enforce the gatherings. Well, the Food and Drug Administration panel is scheduled to meet today to discuss Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine, and it's possible an emergency use authorization will be issued before the end of the week. As John Lawrence reports, this comes days after the FDA authorized Pfizer's COVID vaccine for emergency use, and hospitalizations and deaths in the U.S. continue to rise.
Confidence in COVID-19 vaccines is growing, according to Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar.
It's clear that many Americans are learning that these vaccines are safe and extraordinarily effective.
Roughly 20 million doses could be delivered before the end of the year, many of them for frontline healthcare workers.
It was such a moment of pure joy and happiness, and a moment of hope. I haven't felt that light or that happy in months.
The vaccine likely won't be readily accessible for most Americans until early to mid-2021.
The demand is going to be so much higher than the supply initially. It's going to be challenging.
It's our best tool against COVID, but it's not here yet for everyone.
And known COVID-19 cases in the U.S., like hospitalizations and deaths, keep climbing to record levels.
We are not at the finish line yet, especially as we approach the holidays.
Health officials continue to stress the importance of being cautious and patient.
We need to be safer with masks, avoiding indoor crowds, keeping distance. All of these things are doubly important now. We don't want any lives to be lost when vaccination is just a few months away.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
John, thank you. Yesterday, the 24th COVID-19 related death was reported here in Chautauqua County. Officials say the new death involved a person in their 80s. This was the second just reported this week. The county also reported 43 new cases with 385 active. Well, additional COVID-19 rapid testing will be taking place next week here in Chautauqua County. The county health department says the testing is free and available for county residents. Officials encourage anyone who has been exposed to the virus or showing symptoms to schedule an appointment. They say those who have tested positive for COVID-19 in the past 90 days should not be retested because they still could come back positive. The health department uses Abbott ID Now analyzing machines to determine the results. And after a patient is swabbed, it takes 15 minutes to run each test. The clinics will take place in both Jamestown and Dunkirk. We have a list of where and when at WNYNewsNow.com. Residents will have to register for an appointment on the County Health Department's website. Well, slick roads with ice and snow made travel almost impossible in parts of the Jamestown area last night. In a video posted on Facebook, viewer Maggie Stark captures vehicles sliding on Windsor Street between Falconer and East 2nd Streets. Several of the cars hugged the curb in an attempt to make it down the slick hill, only before crashing into others trying to travel amid a blast of winter weather. Now, this was a common sight throughout the area, with cars sliding down several untreated streets layered with ice and snow. On Foot Avenue in Jamestown, an ambulance was hit as cars attempted to drive down the hill near Jamestown High School. Meanwhile, outside of the city, thoroughfares like Route 60 and I-86 were not much better, with reports of vehicles off the road and traffic moving slow. Much of the Northeast is feeling the icy blast as an early season winter storm moves up the East Coast. Well, we thank you for tuning in to WNY News Now as we get a check of local news and weather this afternoon. Let's say hello to Pam. Good to see Vicky, Cody, Butch, Stacy, and Greg as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Great to see Nicole, Susie, Joseph, and Joanna. Always great to see everyone tune in every day for a check of the local headlines. Let's now get a check of the weather forecast to come. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is out today, so forecaster Andrew Stevenson is in here with a first look at our weather. And Andrew, it really was a pretty blustery night. I know the storyline was the more east and south that people went, the more amount of snow that they likely would have saw.
Yeah, as we forecasted yesterday, the snowfall totals ended up being what we forecasted. The farther east you went, the more snow you got. As is the case, as you see, up in Wellsville, picked up just under 9 inches of snow, but as you came farther west back towards Chautauqua County and Lakeshore, those snow totals dropped off. Randolph had about 5 inches. Jamestown picked up just a little over 4 inches of snow. Once you got towards Lakeshore, only 2 inches of snow in Mayville. So you got most of the snow farther east you went, and the snow tapered off as you came back here towards Chautauqua and the county and the Lakeshore. The temperatures yesterday, 25 degrees was the high with a low of 19 degrees as a far cry from the 60 degrees we had in 1984, but not as cold as the -5 we had back in 1951. So for the rest of the afternoon, the snow is pretty much ended. We may still see a stray flurry, but other than that, partly to mostly cloudy skies out there. Temperatures 25 inland towards the low 30s as you head towards the lakeshore. So the snow is ended. We'll see high pressure build in. Will we get any more snow? I'll let you know coming up in the weekend forecast, coming up in just a couple of minutes. But for now, Justin, back to you.
All right, Andrew, thank you. Firefighters say having a working smoke alarm can mean the difference between life and death. And that's why the Jamestown Fire Department is partnering with the Chautauqua Safety Village to distribute free smoke detectors to residents this holiday season. Fire Code Inspector Robert Smith says the new detectors are good for 10 years and do not need their batteries changed. Smith will help assist residents with their installation process and also provide some safety information like where to install them.
It's always very, very important to have smoke detectors. You should have them inside and outside of both your bedrooms and one on each level of your house.
Those interested in getting a free smoke alarm should call the city's Office of Fire Prevention. The initiative is made possible through an $8,000 FEMA grant. Well, Chautauqua County health officials say they're making progress in restoring clean water to Mayville residents. However, public health officials say still don't drink it. They say a new water well was installed on Monday and is currently supplying the village's water system with clean water. The village is now flushing the system and replacing the water in its storage tanks. Officials say this will continue for the next few days. Soon, residents will be instructed to flush their own household plumbings once the system-wide flushing is complete. The health department will reach out to those with private wells to make sure their water's safe. Now, until it is, the village continues daily distribution of bottled and bulk water to residents, businesses, and the nearby Chautauqua Lake Central School. There are several upcoming distribution events, including through Friday from 10:30 to 12:30 and 4:30 to 6:30 at the Chautauqua Highway Building. Water's also available at the Tops parking lot this Friday from 2:30 to 6:30 and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Well, straight ahead, Andrew's back with a look at our weekend weather forecast. But first, Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell joins us live to talk about his recent trip to Washington, D.C. to lobby for funding for local governments. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. Last week, Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell traveled to Washington, D.C. for the Operation Warp Speed Summit. Joining us now to talk more about that and his push for local governments to see some sort of federal aid is Executive P.J. Wendell. Sir, thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
First off, did you get a chance to speak with leaders there in Washington, and what was that about? What was the discussion?
Well, the first part was the Operation Warp Speed Summit. There were 9 elected officials nationwide who were there in attendance, from Colorado to Florida, Tennessee, Texas, Georgia. So, as stated by the Deputy Chief of Staff, this is federally recognized, state managed, but locally executed. And locally is the counties. So, they were very thankful that county representatives were there, able to understand what's happening with Operation Warp Speed and the vaccination process throughout the United States. Monumental. It's the largest thing we've undertaken since World War II. The other part was, later also meeting with Congressman Reed and discussing, what's happening right now on Capitol Hill with the relief package. A lot of urgency to help local governments, counties especially, in getting that aid to us, not filtering it from the state to us. That's what's really important with this. And as the county executives across the state, we all said this the same unanimously, that the aid needs to go from the Treasury to the counties, not to be, left in the state's, ability to, disperse that as well. So it's really important that money gets to us where it's most needed.
Yeah, I know last time that there was funding, you see states like New York, an example, that will hold on to it and distribute it in their own way. For you and for the county budget team, as you've already been planning for next year, and there's still so much uncertainty amid the loss of sales tax revenue because people maybe aren't going out like they used to, or they're shopping in different ways. How important is it to have assistance to keep things running as we continue to move into next year?
Well, it's very important. One of the things that, again, I take pride in the fact that our financial team made adjustments early on. So when we look at what has been happening, we are further ahead than others. I think it was stated sometime in the campaign, 13 other counties reacted before we did. Maybe true, but many of them did not take the steps that we took. And as I talked to other executives across the state, we are in a much better place. There are some that had to take out, that had to do some revenue anticipation notes just to get through the rest of the year. So we did not have to do that. We were able to sustain ourselves by the measures we took. So, hats off to my team for that. And, we stand by what we did. And, we feel confident we'll be able to weather this. But we are watching, and any assistance, and I will not deny that the assistance is needed and will help us as we move forward to next year's budget.
Is there a plan if we don't see assistance? I know there's still so much back and forth in D.C. as to what will be included in the next stimulus this month and into the future under President-elect Biden. But for you in the county, the reality is that if we don't have funding that we need to run things, what would we see?
Well, I think what's really important to realize is the budget was passed without any anticipation of federal assistance. We did not budget, in anticipation of $1 million or $500,000 coming from the federal government. This budget and the measures that were taken were done solely on the merit of, a balanced budget and did not rely or anticipate any federal funding. So I think it's really important to keep that, in the forefront as we look at our budget. We're not sitting back saying, well, we need that $2 billion from the federal government to make this happen. We have and again, criticisms were made that, maybe we cut too much or we reduced too many things. We did that so we didn't have to rely on anything and we hoping and praying that this, this relief package comes in a timely manner. Right now in Chautauqua County, anything we get will be used wisely. It's one of the first things we discussed even back when I talked to Congressman Reed in the early summer as to if and when a second package will be coming. We're going to put this in, make sure it's utilized and saved, not, going out and spending the money or really, incorporating that into the budget. The budget team did a good job and the legislature scrubbed that as well and very confident in the budget that they put forward and I put forward as well. So we'll wait for 2021 to come and hopefully, better days, as the Goo Goo Dolls have said it.
Yeah, and a big part of that is what we hear, the COVID-19 vaccine is the solution for many. What will that process look like here in Chautauqua County, and how soon are you told things could get underway?
Well, we were notified yesterday that vaccines have started. I believe Brooks TLC system received vaccines yesterday, so they will start. There are other avenues that are coming, part of the Operation Warp Speed Summit, that the nursing homes were going to be vaccinated by CVS and Walgreens pharmacies. So, as you know, today's paper, there was a concern with that as going forward. Again, we are working to get our frontline workers vaccinated as quickly as possible. We're rolling out, but that's really right now in the state's hands. The state has 14,500 doses designated for Western New York. Where they will come in Chautauqua County, I'm not 100% clear on that. Again, there's a lot of safety and security involved with the transportation of those vaccines. So the plan is in place. The health department has that vaccination plan ready to go. So we're ready to strike at a moment's notice. Whenever we get it, we will start to implement that plan and in what degree we'll be able to do that.
And finally, what can we do to help break down some of the stigma of the vaccine? I know that I've talked to Director Schuyler in the last week who said that we're going to have to reach a percentage for herd immunity in order to start to see things like the masks go away and we can get large venues, concerts, things like that we've seen before. for you, is there any sort of plan in the county level to try to ease people's fears? Because we've had a lot of locals already say that they don't plan on getting it just because there's still so much unknown.
Well, I know that's, there's a lot of question in that, Justin, and what's the right answer? That I don't know. Will I be getting the vaccine? Yes, I will. And I believe, my family will. We haven't really discussed it in length. But I feel confident that, yes, this may be pushed through quickly. But if you listen to Governor Cuomo, who, when this began and it was discussion of vaccine, said this vaccine will be vetted on top of what the federal government is doing by New York State. And the fact that Governor Cuomo has since taken a position now that we will embrace this vaccine when it comes out, I think lends a lot to his confidence in this vaccine. We can't speak to everyone. There's a lot of different philosophies about vaccinations and should they happen, should we get them and stuff. And that doesn't mean that once this has happened, once you get vaccine, you take your mask off and, we're running through the grass in the summertime. We still have to focus on our efforts till that herd immunity is built. And we don't know when that's going to be. I have faith in the government and our process. Again, Dr. Starks was there. They spoke to the science behind the vaccination, the studies that have been going on. You're probably going to hear the negativity before you hear the positive, but at the end of the day, the vaccine has been deemed safe by the CDC and the FDA. And for it to get out to the populace is what needs to happen in order for us, one, to get to that herd immunity and get back to, the lifestyle we were used to.
Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell joining us on the program today. Sir, thank you for your time. We appreciate the insight.
Thank you, Justin.
Now let's get a check of our First Defense weather forecast.
First Defense weather is sponsored by 42 Degrees and Sunny, smoking deals on smoking accessories. Learn more at 42degreesandsunny.com. That's 42degreesandsunny.com.
Well, we had some nice photos sent in yesterday from the snow. The bottom left-hand corner over here is a photo from Justa, the minion. He survived the snow last night. The one in the middle was from our own Justin Gould, sent in coming into work today of a beautiful sunrise in Randolph. And I'll step over here. Another photo we have from Pam of the snow accumulating from out in Randolph. If you have any weather photos, you can always send them in to us either on the WNY News Now Facebook page or our own First Defense weather page. If you can take some good photos from a safe distance, send them in to us and we'll be happy to post them here live on air. Currently outside in the Jamestown area, it is 26 degrees with an east wind of 3 miles per hour, visibility of 10. That snow has completely ended and we're going to have partly cloudy skies for the rest of the day. So here's the weather breakdown. This is what you need to know. The snow has ended. High pressure begins to build in this afternoon, and that high pressure will dominate the weather through at least early weekend and Saturday with dry weather. And we will have a light low pressure system move in Saturday night into Sunday that will bring in a few light rain or snow showers, but the widespread snow has ended. How many days we have Christmas? We're keeping the countdown going. We are down to 8 days before Christmas, so that was only 1 week away. Hopefully the snow will stick around long enough so we can have a white Christmas, but we're going to warm up this weekend, so I don't know about that. The weekend weather, partly cloudy skies for Saturday, plenty of sunshine, temperatures in the mid-30s. As we head into Sunday, again, that low pressure system moves through Saturday night into Sunday and will bring a few rain and snow showers into the weekend. So for the rest of the afternoon, partly mostly cloudy skies out there. A stray flurry is possible. Mid-20s in the hills to the low 30s in the lakeshore. We may have a stray flurry out there, but otherwise the rest of the afternoon looks pretty good out there. For tonight, mostly cloudy skies, nothing going on tonight. Again, a stray flurry. It will be chilly, especially deep in the valleys, as temperatures will be in the low teens to the mid-20s heading towards lakeshore. Now we have the 7-day forecast coming up, brought to you by 42 Degrees and Sunny. Beautiful tomorrow, beautiful Saturday. That low pressure system begins to move into the area as we head into Sunday with a few light rain and snow showers that will stick around through at least Monday and Tuesday. But it doesn't look like we're going to get into any white Christmas, as that snow will more than likely begin to melt. We'll see what happens as we get towards Christmas, as another system might begin to move into the area. So maybe we'll get some snow then. We'll see. Justin?
All right, Andrew, thank you. Coming up next, as the winter season gets underway, a warning for those who might be out shoveling. That right after this.
Wishing you a safe and happy holiday season. WNY News Now, the Jolly Team, where coverage comes first.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
The mother of a special education student at Maple Grove High School is speaking out.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
And Lake Erie is covered in less than 1% of ice as this winter season has entered its peak.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Happy holidays from WNY News Now.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. The American Heart Association is warning an increased risk of heart attacks for people that are shoveling. The association says if you're outdoors, you should avoid sudden exertion. They say if you have an existing condition like heart failure, high blood pressure, or cholesterol, the increased workload from it could put you at higher risk for heart muscle damage or even a heart attack. They say give yourself a break, take frequent rest during shoveling so you don't overstress your heart, and pay attention to how your body is feeling during those breaks as well. Heart attacks can be sudden and intense, but most start slowly with mild pain. Well, 2020 is coming to an end, and if you're getting your finances in order for a new year goal, don't wait until the clock strikes midnight on December 31st to make money moves. In today's Consumer Watch, Mandy Gaither with 5 strategies that should be on your mind.
Before you say goodbye to 2020, make some money moves now. In order to have a prosperous next year, experts say it's critical to invest your time in these 5 year-end planning tips. Number 1, increase contributions to your retirement plan. If it's not too late to max out your 401k, do it now.
Give yourself a Christmas gift by taking 1% more out of your payroll, putting it into your 401k. After tax, you're really not going to miss it.
Number 2, consider bunching your charity gifts. Given the new higher standard deduction limit, your impact may be greater if you bunch charitable deductions into one this year. Number 3, create a holiday spending plan and stick to it to avoid ending the year with debt.
But remember that gift giving lasts a moment in time. That credit card debt of $1,000 or $2,000 may take you a year, 2 years, 3 years to pay off.
Number 4, review your 2020 spending, especially the last 90 days, and see which expenses can be trimmed. And number 5, once you see where your money went this year, set up financial goals for 2021. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Mandy, thank you. A bonus tip here, organize your financial documents. It might be a big step, but it'll help you file your taxes sooner next year. And filing early means getting that potential refund check quicker. Well, today's a sweet day indeed. It's National Maple Syrup Day. You can celebrate by making a breakfast fit for a real maple syrup and posting a photo on social media using the hashtag Maple Syrup Day. Now, some fun facts. The United States is the biggest producer of maple syrup. That until 1930. Canada now takes the lead, producing about 70% of the world's maple syrup. Those all look so good. You know, I might have to have some breakfast for dinner tonight. Let us know what you think about that in the comments down below. Thanks so much for tuning in here to WNY News Now. Great to see Lisa, Cheryl, Jennifer, Christine, Mark, and Laura as well. Hopefully you're all having a great day. That's going to do it for our broadcast. Of course, we're back tomorrow with my favorite segment, Pet of the Week, which will be taking place right at the end of the show, and a check of all the local news headlines that matter to you. Of course, when you're on the go, you can stay in the know by downloading the WNY News Now mobile app. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. We'll leave you with a live look over sunny downtown Jamestown. See you tomorrow, live right here at noon.